In the shadow of a looming federal trial that has already captivated the attention of the public, Christian Combs, the eldest son of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs, finds himself at the crossroads of legacy, loyalty, and survival. Christian, once poised to inherit the empire his father spent decades building, is now thrust into a legal nightmare, caught between the weight of his father's monumental success and the gravity of the allegations that could tear it all down. But as prosecutors build their case against Diddy, an even darker question looms. Is Christian the key to his father's downfall, or the last thread of hope for saving him? Federal prosecutors in New York are working tirelessly to keep Diddy in custody as they prepare for a trial that could sentence the rapper and mogul to up to 20 years behind bars for charges that include sex trafficking and extortion. The stakes are monumental. Diddy, once the face of luxury, wealth, and the bad boy entertainment empire, is now the target of a federal investigation that has uncovered disturbing evidence tied to years of opulent parties, elite gatherings, and financial dealings that mask darker, more sinister activities. As the trial date approaches, whispers abound that Christian, the 27-year-old rapper known as King Combs, has been secretly cooperating with federal prosecutors. Revelation has sent shockwaves through the entertainment world as Christian, who has long been by his father's side, could now be poised to become one of the most pivotal witnesses in the case against Diddy. Could Christian's testimony seal his father's fate? Would the eldest Combs' son, who once reveled in the lavish world his father built, now take the stand and testify against him? Court documents obtained by law enforcement sources have revealed that there is a sealed memorandum in the case that outlines Christian's expected testimony. The implications are enormous. If Christian is called to testify, his knowledge of Diddy's private jet flights, the guest list at these infamous gatherings, and the financial dealings tied to bad boy entertainment could destroy his father's defense. Federal prosecutors are counting on Christian to be the golden key that unravels the truth behind Diddy's opulent parties in the Hamptons and Miami from 2015 to 2022. These gatherings, once seen as elite parties celebrating fame and success, are now under intense scrutiny. With claims that they were hotbeds for trafficking, exploitation, and more, Mark Diaz, a former federal prosecutor, has weighed in on the potential impact of Christian's testimony. Diaz points out that testimony from a family member in a case like this is rare but incredibly potent. Family loyalty is often tested to the breaking point in these situations. In conspiracy cases, a family member's testimony can either crumble the case or be the one piece of evidence that turns everything around. If Christian has information that could lead to Diddy's conviction, will he choose to protect his father, or will he take the stand and implicate him in these heinous crimes? Christian's dilemma is further complicated by a recent incident that has caught the media's attention. A video surfaced showing Christian and his girlfriend Raven Tracy partying wildly at Pulse nightclub in Malibu, just 2 days after a pre-trial hearing. Video has fueled speculation about Christian's state of mind as he navigates the intense pressures of his father's trial. Is he simply enjoying his life, or is he intentionally distracting the public from the gravity of his involvement? Is Christian betraying his father, or is he simply navigating a perilous path in an increasingly complex legal battle? The public perception of Christian is shifting rapidly. Once seen as the heir to his father's empire, he is now perceived as a potential witness who may hold the key to exposing Diddy's alleged crimes. For Christian, this case is no longer just about loyalty to his father. It's about navigating a labyrinth of legal pressures, personal dilemmas, and the weight of an empire's legacy. He is no longer just the son of a mogul, but a central figure in a case that could destroy everything his family has built. The question of whether Christian will choose to testify against Diddy continues to loom large. It's not just a matter of family loyalty, it's about survival. In a world where Combs' name is synonymous with power, fame, and wealth, Christian is faced with a choice that no one should have to make. Will he be the son who brings his father down, or will he be the one who saves him? Christian Combs, the 27-year-old rapper and heir to the monumental legacy of bad boy entertainment, stands at the precipice of a life-altering decision. His once predictable trajectory, which seemed destined to continue as the successor to one of hip-hop's most influential empires, is now anything but certain. The federal trial against his father, Sean Diddy Combs, for charges that include sex trafficking, extortion, and orchestrating an extensive network of covert, high-profile gatherings, has not only rocked the entertainment world, but also shaken the foundations of Christian's personal life. As the legal storm clouds gather over Diddy, the allegations against him carry dire consequences, possibly a 20-year sentence. The prosecution has meticulously built a case that hinges not just on the financial transactions, jet flights, and private parties, but also on the testimony of one key figure, Christian himself. Once the golden child poised to inherit the bad boy empire, Christian is now a central figure in a battle between family loyalty and survival. He stands on the precipice of a crossroads where every decision could either save his father or betray him in a bid to protect himself. Federal prosecutors have been working tirelessly to keep Diddy behind bars, hoping that Christian's cooperation will serve as the key to unlocking the truth behind his father's alleged crimes. Christian, a young man whose life has been under the bright spotlight for most of his existence, now finds himself under intense scrutiny. His public persona, once tied to his father's fame and success, is now being examined under a much darker lens, as authorities delve into the murky waters of Bad Boy Entertainment's financial dealings. The trial against Diddy has taken a life of its own, but the case's most electrifying twist has been the sealed memorandum filed in court last week, which has revealed that Christian Combs, the son of the accused, is expected to testify. His knowledge, gathered from years spent in his father's world, makes him a critical witness. The documents show that Christian holds detailed knowledge about private jet flights, elite guest lists, hidden financial transactions, and the notorious parties in Miami and the Hamptons, which spanned from 2015 to 2022. These gatherings, once viewed as luxurious, star-studded events, are now under suspicion for their potential links to sex trafficking and other illicit activities. Christian's testimony, if it comes to fruition, could be a razor-sharp blade that cuts through Diddy's defense. Federal authorities are counting on him to provide key information. But is Christian ready to take the stand and face the overwhelming weight of public opinion? What does his cooperation with the prosecution really mean? Is he torn between loyalty to his father and the pressure of the justice system? Or has he made a cold, calculated decision to protect his own future at the expense of his father's? Despite the mounting pressure, Christian's actions have added fuel to the fire. Just days after attending a pretrial hearing, he was spotted at Pulse nightclub in Malibu, partying with his girlfriend, Raven Tracy. This video, which surfaced on social media, has raised suspicions. Was it a reckless mistake, an attempt to shift public perception, or a deliberate distraction to throw off the media's focus on his potential testimony? Christian's wild behavior has only intensified the speculation around his role in the case. Is he betraying his father? Or is he trying to navigate the situation with the kind of strategic thinking his father's empire once thrived on? As the trial approaches, Christian's role in the case has become far more significant than anyone initially thought. What was originally seen as a family drama involving allegations against Diddy has quickly escalated into a battle that questions the very fabric of the Combs family's legacy. Christian, the man once destined to inherit everything, now stands as the one person who could either undo or preserve the empire that his father built. His testimony, should he choose to provide it, could shatter the facade that Diddy spent decades constructing. Or it could be the lifeline that saves him from facing decades in prison. Raven Tracy, Christian's girlfriend, has emerged as an enigmatic figure in the unfolding drama. Once an influencer with a massive following, Raven has found herself at the center of the media circus surrounding the trial. While many might have assumed that her role was simply that of a supportive partner, her ties to Diddy's empire and her close relationship with Christian have thrust her into the limelight in ways that no one could have predicted. Raven's involvement in the case has raised numerous questions. Was she merely the girlfriend of a rising star in the entertainment world? Or was she deeply connected to the very activities that federal investigators are now scrutinizing? It has been revealed that Raven once worked for a company linked to Bad Boy Entertainment, an event planning firm that orchestrated many of the lavish gatherings that are now under investigation. Her role in these events, if any, remains unclear. But the very fact that she has been so closely associated with Christian during this crisis has made her a key figure in the investigation. Raven's public persona has evolved in parallel with Christian's. She has been by his side throughout this entire ordeal. It's often seen accompanying him to events, interviews, and public appearances. But while Christian's every move has been dissected, Raven's own involvement has flown under the radar. The truth, however, may be far more complicated. Reports have surfaced, suggesting that Raven has had more influence over Christian than anyone initially realized. Some speculate that she has been helping to shape his public image, guiding him through the media frenzy and possibly even advising him on how to navigate his potential testimony. The speculation around Raven's role took a darker turn when it was revealed that she received large sums of money from an unknown source shortly after Christian's meetings with federal prosecutors. The payments, amounting to tens of thousands of dollars, raised questions about her financial ties to Diddy's empire. Some sources have suggested that Raven's bank account was used to funnel money into the ongoing investigation, potentially to protect her interests or gain leverage in the case. Raven's connection to the case runs deeper than just her relationship with Christian. As an influential figure in her own right, she has become a fixture in Christian's world. But the question remains, is she guiding him toward redemption, or is she pushing him further into a world of deception and manipulation? Some insiders believe that Raven is using her relationship with Christian as a way to position herself for power within the bad boy entertainment empire. She could very well be working behind the scenes to help Christian take the reins from Diddy, should the empire collapse under the weight of these allegations. While many believe that Raven is simply a girlfriend caught up in the drama of the trial, the reality may be far more complex. Is she helping Christian navigate the storm, or is she an orchestrator of the larger scheme to topple Diddy and reshape the empire into something new? Raven's presence in Christian's life has certainly raised suspicions. Some see her as a calculating figure, manipulating events to suit her own ambitions, while others believe she is simply a young woman, caught up in a relationship that has become far more complex than she could have ever imagined. As the trial date approaches, the legal web surrounding the case is becoming more tangled. Investigators have uncovered flight records, financial transactions, and communications that point to the involvement of numerous individuals connected to Diddy's empire. Christian's name has appeared in these documents, and it seems that he was not just a guest at these infamous gatherings, but an active participant in the operations that are now under investigation. But while the prosecution is focusing on Christian's role, his defense team is positioning him as a bystander who simply found himself caught up in his father's world. Christian has consistently denied any involvement in the trafficking operations, claiming that he was simply a guest at the parties. However, the growing body of evidence is starting to suggest otherwise. Text messages, flight records, and financial documents point to his involvement in orchestrating the very events that are now under investigation. It seems that Christian was not just attending these parties, but actively facilitating them. The prosecution is building its case against Diddy, but they know that Christian's testimony could be the final piece of the puzzle. If Christian testifies, he could expose the inner workings of Diddy's empire, including the financial networks that supported these illicit activities. But Christian's decision to testify is far from certain. He is caught between loyalty to his father, the pressure to protect his own future, and the mounting weight of evidence that suggests his involvement in the trafficking operations. The public's fascination with the case is growing, but the real drama is happening behind the scenes. Christian is a pivotal figure, and his role in the trial could decide the fate of both his father and his own future. The next few weeks will determine whether Christian takes the stand against his father or remains loyal to the empire that built him. But the questions surrounding his relationship with Raven, his financial ties to Bad Boy Entertainment, and his possible role in the trafficking operations are only deepening. As the trial begins, all eyes will be on Christian Combs. Will he choose to testify against his father, or will he stand by him and risk everything? The fate of the Combs empire rests in his hands.